Sorry, I want to be clever and try and have a little bit of a drink just before started, and unfortunately almost choked on it, which is like, not how I wish to enter the next life. Thank you very much. Right, okay, so before we officially start the pre-stream discussion, we do the usual preamble about how not going to be any audio or video from what we're watching tonight. That's why the stream is called BYOC, Bring Your Own Copy. It's just basically a way of getting around the copyright stuff, because I'm watching my copy, and obviously if you're watching along with this, you've got yours. That way, we're just chatting about it. Part of that is, I always have to add this to get right, is the synchronized timer, because it gives me an excuse to test it right there. Good evening is basically, so if you're watching this later, or you need to pause or anything, or use the bathroom, you can come back and know at what point, normally within like a second or two, where we are in the episode. And assuming I remember to do so, it will be reset between each episode. Right, okay, and last bit is, I'm pressing the wrong key there you go. Right. Last bit is obviously, before each episode, I will do like a 5-second lead in, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and on go. I'll press the sync timer, start the playing, and we'll go from there. And that's basically how we do it here. Right, okay. So, we are on the second season now of The Expanse. Things are getting spicy, as you would imagine. I mean, the first season very much had a sort of sci-fi noir feel to it, which honestly I think would have been great just as a concept on its own. I could 100% have been happy with it just being a space noir style thing, that kind of thing. 100% would have been happy with that. But things are getting spicy. Yeah, things are definitely getting spicy in the Belt. And I loved how they mentioned, I think it was in the last episode, my headphones are a bit wobbly. Yeah. How they mentioned in, I think it was like one of the last episode, like episode 2 maybe, or one, probably episode 2, how the information they were receiving from around where Mars or something was, that it was like a 20-minute delay. And again, it's just the little things like that make me appreciate a good sci-fi show. I don't expect it to be 100%. Now obviously if they're trying to present themselves as being scientifically accurate, then I will hold them to a higher standard. But if it's like, look, this is a sci-fi show, we're trying to be accurate, but obviously for the sake of brevity, we're going to sort of not make people wait 2 weeks just to get a message from the other side of the solar system and things like that, because that would be complete nonsense. But they at least try to stick to the rules and stuff they've established, like the thing with grav belts, grav beds, magnetic boots, the fact that the belters are, obviously it's still human, but they're just a little bit different because they've been living in areas with lower gravity, lower radiation shielding, so sometimes they can look just slightly different. But again, still recognised to be humans. The sort of person that if you saw them walking down the street, you'd be like, oh, okay, well, that guy's a little bit on the skinny side, and then go about your day. You wouldn't think too much of it, unless maybe you start looking closer and you could see maybe the weird mutations, I suppose would be the best way to describe it, and things like that. Plus, then you've got effectively three main factions, though arguably there's sub factions within each of them. Earth is technically united. I say technically because there's I think it's under the control of the UN, but there's obviously there's sub countries and things like that. Mars is essentially a what would you call it? A military government, where basically it's if you're on Mars, you're working for Mars type thing. It's a smaller population compared to Earth, much smaller population, but they make up for it with some very impressive military technology. The battle suits, their ships. It's if you want good military tech, you speak to Mars. But Earth has the numbers and the knowledge and in a way the resources. And speaking of resources, you've then got the third. I don't know if anyone call it a faction group, would probably be more appropriate. The OPA, the Outer Planets Alliance, which is basically anything from the Belt onwards, essentially. It's now, what is it? It's like the asteroid belt has got something like trillions and trillions worth of material with it, and now if you can control the belt, you can control basically the outer solar system, which is makes sense. However, Earth and Mars don't really give a flying monkeys about the OPA, and they just see them as like rock hoppers, as barely human. It's kind of like basically you can see there's a three-way fight building, and that's essentially what it seems like the recent in universe discovery on the Phoebe station of something that came from outside the solar system. Yeah, what do they call it? Extrasolar object. Yeah. So basically, something was shot towards Earth, got caught up in the gravity well around. I think it was Jupiter. I think, which makes sense because that's kind of what Jupiter's there for. To be, not so much there for, but no, that's its job. That's what it does. If it wasn't for Jupiter, we wouldn't be having this conversation, basically. And within that was a very powerful. Well, they call it the proto-molecule, but this is like, it's almost like a living nanite in terms of what it can do. This is like something that can be manipulated, used. One of the scientists claimed it was evolving because it was sort of alive. Is this one of those sort of things where it's like the whole grey goo situation where not the grey goo, what is it? It's the opposite of the grey goo, I think it's called. I can't remember what the name is, but it's basically where if you have enough of a substance, it starts to become more intelligent and more dangerous kind of thing. And because it can like absorb anything organic, it seems to thrive in organics, but obviously it can use inorganic materials, but organic stuff is easier to work with. And oh look, they've just put a whole big chunk of it on the Eros asteroid space station. And Earth and Mars are getting ready to start a war against each other because someone's been very naughty with stealth ships. There we go. Right, so where are our recaps? Okay, so I'm not going to go into too much nonsense today because we're watching 3 episodes. Because just the way I wanted to sort of sync things up, there's going to be 2, 3 until we get to the last 2 episodes of the season, because for some reason they're 13 episodes, which is very unusual. If it was 12 episodes, it'd be like 3 episodes per week, but because it's that, it's slightly different. Word of, not warning, but a sort of heads up is I'm a big fan of the Fallout show and the games. Now, there is the 2nd season of Fallout coming soon in December. I'm not sure exactly when. I believe it's around the middle of December. So when that happens, we'll probably do, depending on how they release the episodes, like if they release them all in one go, we'll probably put it on a pause, watch them, sort of 2 or 3 episodes and whatever. But if they do like 1 or 2 a week, which I'm trying to remember what I did before, then we might do like, the Expanse and Fallout. So have like a double feature type thing. But again, not too sure how they're going to do it. And basically, it's going to be a wait and see sort of thing. That sounds right. Yeah, the 17th sounds. Anyway, no, actually, let's just check now. Actually, just to be on the safe side, whilst I'm here. So, Fallout Season 2 release day. Yeah. Yes, it's December the 17th on here. So, I'm going to see if there's. Any nod about if there's going to be all in one. Okay. The 2nd season is set to premiere on the 17th. This is according to Wikipedia, by the way. The 2nd season is set to premiere on December the 17th, with the remaining episodes released weekly through February the 26th. Okay. So it looks like it's going to be 1 episode a week. So that's basically what we're doing. So from that point on, so December the 17th. Nice. So December the 17th is, so it's 1, 2. It's a Wednesday. Okay. And then, so we'll be then watching it a couple of days afterwards. So that's not too bad for potential spoilers and stuff like that. It's just a couple of days. So Although I imagine it's going to be interesting on social medias and stuff like that. But hey ho. Right, okay, so today's episode 3 is called Static. Episode 4 is called Godspeed, which sounds interesting. And episode 5 is Home. Right, so we're going to queue up, and as I mentioned before, we're going to do a 5-second lead in, blah, 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 blah. So let me just get myself ready and get everything else, do all that, and all that. Okay, right, we are good to go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And once again, I am on the Apple and Blackground. Fashion images, violence, alcohol use, foul language, sexual content. Oh, those are miss. Oh yeah, those are the miss. Oh, because yeah, they said they were going to blow up Demos, I think, didn't they? Yeah, Demos has just been. Yeah, that's going to make the Martians happy, isn't it? And you can see why she's the leader of the squad. I mean, that'd be like the equivalent of like if they took a big chunk out of. Exactly. I mean, Demo. Yeah, but it's still their moon. It should be, mate. Yeah, it's basically from birth to death. You live to serve Mars. Yeah, I'm not scared, and you're nowhere near the fighting. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, we may have the numbers and the advantage over Mars, but I can tell you something, if there was an all-out war between the two planets, Mars would be just exactly the sort of ones who would turn around and be like, screw it. If we're going to go, we're going to take Earth with us. They are borderline fanatics. Title change, yes. Yeah, notice. Yeah. Like I say, it's every so often. They don't do it all the time. Just every so often they'll throw in a title change. Normally when big events happen, like the destruction of Demos. That's something I've always liked when shows do that, and they just have like very subtle changes to the title screen because it makes you want to watch it. Like, has something changed this week? No. Wait a minute. Yeah. Remember, in space, Isaac Newton is one deadly SOB. Because if you've got like a bit of shrapnel that traveling a sizable chunk of the speed of light, that thing becomes incredibly dangerous. Hell, even like 10% speed of light is incredibly dangerous. And that's for like something like that big. Hmm. Yeah, the ship got punctured. Like when he thought, what's it? The young lad there thought he got shot, but it was a gel. Yeah, yeah. Apart from the fact that Miller domed the chief scientist of the protomolecule project, yeah. I mean, granted, the guy was named Morrill Dingleberry, but still, he was willing to cooperate. Kind of. And I'm just remembering this like because I was playing Persona 5 last night, and how like the difference between the evil characters in that and the evil characters in this. In this one, it's a lot more shades of grey, but in Persona, it's like a very particular person is very, very evil, and is unashamedly evil, and it's going to be so satisfying when we take them down. Yeah, man's going to turn the free booze. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, out of all the people, Amos probably does understand it the most. It's like, yeah, you don't mess with people that you others care about. It's a bad idea. Unfortunately, yep. Hmm. And that's why he's just like, okay, yeah, he's a man who knows what he is, and I appreciate him for that. Yeah, Amos is an incredibly dangerous guy, but he's definitely someone having on your side is a good thing because he would have no hesitation of sending you out the airlock if that's what has to be done. You're not being evil, malicious about it. It's like if it's a thing that has to be done, it has to be done, and he'll do it. Okay, each of the characters have their own thing that they bring to the party. Yeah, she. Mm, She's right. She's the voice of reason on the ship. I mean, there's no doubt that she, without being hyperbolic about things, Naomi's probably the smartest person on that ship, and she's also the engineer as well. Now, it would be the equivalent of like after World War Two. What's his name? I'm trying to think who it was. Goering, I think it was, basically being like, "Yes, I'll come along and join you. I'll help. I'll help you with your things." And someone just going, "No, no, you won't." The fact she's got a taser handy is like, yeah, dude. I love that those two are like slowly warming up to him. It's like, because he is a fellow belter, and it's just like he's no longer a cop. He's a fellow belter. Have they named this character yet? No, they haven't. They haven't given her a name yet. So in an RPG, she'll be like the interesting NPC who doesn't get a name until later. Now I know what the character's name is, but until it's mentioned in the thing, I'm not going to say what it is. I mean, it's not a spoiler, but it's like, oof. So I imagine there's probably. And I definitely get the vibe that if her and Laan from Strange New Worlds met, that they would get on quite well. Oh, it's an interesting thing as well that I found out. You can officially learn the Belter Loader language. It's a legit thing. It's a legit created language. Yeah, they were plugged into the what do you call it? The computer simulation. Oh, that's not going to go well. Yeah, it's just beating him with a metal. Yeah, I'm still thinking that when they unplugged them from the old computer thing, that they maybe fried a couple of their neurons. You don't unplug someone from a neural interface by just yanking out the cable. The Matrix has told us that. Cyberpunk 2077 tells us that. You never unplug someone directly from a neural interface. Excuse me. Ooh. Yeah, there's definitely some inter squad hostilities. Yeah, he deserved that. That's like one punch and he was down. Yeah, this guy's been. Mm, it's okay. Okay, so he's obviously trying to appeal to his empathy. Yeah, it's not fun. Okay, that's an interesting approach, a way to appeal to it. The emotional side. It's like, yeah, it makes sense. We understand why you were doing it. Damn. Yeah, this guy is definitely not. How can I put this? Yeah, there's definitely something emotionally wrong with him. Like, I don't want to say brainwashed, but there's been definitely something's happened to him. You know, bit of fanaticism thrown in as well. Like I said, they were plugged into that computer thing, so it's the stealth ships. Reminds me of that volleyball scene from or Deep Space Nine, the racquetball scene. Sorry, we're burning off some energy, I suppose. Yeah, she's right. And this is one of the reasons why I like her. It's like, so there's a. So I've made the joke before about how there are certain types of individuals who could crush every bone in my body, and I'd let them. I say no more. So there's weird sounds and what could arguably be music coming from Eros. Yeah. Good question. It's almost like the same person, just the opposite ends. Like, the youthful but hopeful guy and the complete cynic at the other. Hmm. It's an interesting language, the Belter language. It's like I say, it's a yeah. I think if I'm right, it's officially designated as a Creole language or something like that. I could never cut my own hair or even shave it. Like, oh yeah, he's tripping balls again. Now, is it like an hallucination or is it more? That's the question. Oh, everyone's got their own way of chilling and relaxing or spending the evening. And for some, it's burning off energy. Others, it's running simulations. Everyone handles life. Oh, that's yeah. Called it. Yep. So yeah, I thought this guy there's something off about him. Yeah. I imagine there's probably like a very small window, which it may have been. Hmm. Everyone's tense as hell. Yeah, I think I've mentioned before. This is a guy who's probably seen or at least come close to experiencing war, and it's like, yeah, we may be Martians, but we're not going to freaking start a war. We will end it, but we won't start it. Like, yeah, he's quite a level-headed military officer, which is what you want at that level. You don't want someone going off at the handle, which makes yep. Like I say, she's politically speaking, she's a very dangerous person. Scary, not afraid to get her metaphorical hands dirty. But I wouldn't necessarily say she's evil. Yeah, he's not necessarily the OPA leader, but he's respected by a lot of them. Oh, that's an interesting little touch. The screen's got all scratches over it where it's been used. Hmm. Interesting. I vaguely recognised what those symbols are, but I can't put. I'm not connecting it. Yeah, you give him what he wants, kind of. Ah, yep, man to man sort of thing. Yep. Yeah, that's pretty grim. Oh, requires energy. Hmm. Oh, that's pretty good. You know, give him just enough information to grab his attention, and then he's like, "Bye. You want more? Talk." It's almost like a psychological torture in a way. I mean, not in the classic way, but it's like, yeah, we've got what you want. We give you just enough to know that to let you know that we're legit. Oh, you want more? Yeah, you're gonna have to cough up, pal. That's a very bright room. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Amos. Oh, Amos gets better. It really freaking gets better. One of the reasons why it's one of my favourite characters in this show. Like I say, he's a simple man, but he's not stupid. There's a difference between the two. And consider and bear in mind where Amos grew up, he probably would have been exposed to those types of people. Obviously, he's tapping into in RPG terms, he's tapping into his background. So he's just using that matter of fact about it. But yeah, he doesn't have that part of his brain working anymore. Yeah, and then generally, now that I know how to push these buttons, he's very easy to manipulate. It's a tyrannid thing. Yeah, this guy strikes me like the early like Adeptus Mechanicus in terms of like, yeah, we'll sacrifice 1,000 if need be. That woman's so freaking bright. That's a big ship. It's a generational ship. Spins for the gravity. I mean, honestly, that's yeah, yeah. You need to have a very tight control system. Now, even if you lose like 1% a year, as the sounds from Eros. Yeah, I think in return for like the data and information, he's willing to help them. Oh, that sounds horrible. Oh, that doesn't sound good. Hmm. Yeah, that's when a very, very alien substance that absorbs organic life in particular and inorganic life merges them together at a subatomic level and creates something new from it. Hmm. Me no likey. Yeah, that would be my reaction. It's a stealth ship. Well, there you go. Got the first F bomb of the episode. And of course, it's from Avasarala. I can still. No, no, I'm gonna. Yeah, see, you're just repeating yourself now. Yeah, this is like a form of like PTSD, survivor's guilt, guilt in general. Yeah, that's why I'm describing it. Cooperate. What if it's that those are the people's voices, but it's not the people making them? That it's the molecule like learning from what it's absorbed into the hive mind. I mean, that's actually a terrifying thought. You've got like a sort of almost like a something that's like a combination between the Borg, Tyranids, and the replicators from Stargate. But at a subatomic level. Yeah, it's like, yeah, punch me out, all done. And the fact he didn't rat on her either was like, okay, yeah, he sort of he's proved himself. You know, he had the perfect opportunity to 100% drop her in the poo poo, but he didn't. And ironically, that's gained him a lot of respect, and the fact also that she was Bobby was the first one to turn around and be like, eh, fellow Martian. And that's worse when the villain starts to actually make sense. You're like, ooh, that's what's scary. Hmm. I'm pretty sure the Mormons aren't going to let you um well, that 45 minutes or well 40 minutes already. Holy fuck, that went quick. Um okay, so little thing comes up. Do you like The Expanse? Yes. Yes, I do. Okay. So gonna watch the next episode pretty much straight away, I think. And then we'll take a break after that, you know, stretch our legs, get some water, whatever, blah blah blah. Ooh. I've forgotten just how much I freaking enjoyed this show. Yeah, people, anybody who's watching that can see why I like the characters I do, and I just, oh, like I say, it just pleases me. On a, it scratches all that right parts of the brain. You know, when you're like, when you're watching some. Let me just reset the timer on that. There we go. Um, you know, when you're watching something, and I find again, this is the old ADHD kicking in. If I'm like aware of the time that's going on, like I was like, oh, it's like 10 to 8 or something like that. That's generally. I'll start that sentence again. The more invested I am with something, the less. Yeah, 2016. So this is like about 9 years old, and it is still freaking good. That for me is, I mean, it's the mark of a good show, film, book, whatever, play, whatever you want to, any entertainment. How it can still be watchable. I mean, yes, obviously sometimes there are elements to certain things where they can be a bit like, oh, yeah, we don't really do that now. But times change, so you have to take the media, sorry, in the context of when it was made. Obviously, you can, if something is really, really, like bigoted or misogynistic or whatever, then you're like, yeah, yeah. I'm not excusing it, but you're like, well, yeah, that's how it was done. It was wrong then, still wrong now, but that's how it was done. You can't change the past. Right, okay, so let's queue up episode 4 called Godspeed. And then, like I say, after this is about another 40-minute episode. So, yeah, we'll watch this, and then we'll have sort of like a couple of minute break, and then episode 3. So, same as before. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Derelict stealth ship in the belt. Flash limited violence, foul language, sexual content. Maybe even all at the same time. Oh, flashing lights and strobing patterns. Again, not really relevant, if you're watching this on the VOD or stuff like that. Just more of a heads up if you're watching this on your own personal media, and it doesn't have the warnings. Hmm. Stolen fusion drive. One of the more advanced ones, I believe. That's true. On both counts. Protogen again. Yeah, they are the Arasaka of this setting. Hmm. Especially with something like the proto molecule on the line. Interesting. Oh look, we just some random ships going along. It's like that's a stealth ship. Oh no. Oh, that's a bad idea. So basically, they're going to play, in effect, a game of pool, but with asteroids. It's a bit Dolph reference there. Yes. Do the right. Oh, I freaking love those holograms they have. So the Navoo will be basically be the cue ball. I think so. That's gonna take weeks to get to the sun. Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is one of those. I don't like you. You don't like me. Yeah, because no one's gonna ever trust him ever again. He's like, nope. God damn it. Mm-hmm. I imagine they've invested billions into that generational ship. I ain't gonna be happy. There you go. Now I wonder if it will show Demos destroyed in this opening sequence. The old flooding of the. There's... Yes. Oh, they're showing Demos destroyed. Oh, just seeing that sort of like fragmented. Oh, again, lovely little touch they just added. That it's so quick and so subtle. I remember the first time seeing it and being like, wait, what? I think that was the episode. This was the episode when I first started to notice that the opening credits, actually change subtly every so often. And it's become one of my favourite features about this show. Yeah, I could just turn around and go like, Protogen are working independently of us. We didn't have Hmm. That's a lot of money. Like I say, they're like, think like Arasaka from Cyberpunk. He knows what's he knows. Yeah. Oh, he's such. Ooh. Oh, he's such a. Aaron White. Which is how. Oh, yeah. We knows. Oh, she is freaking ruthless, and I love her for it. Like, seriously, as a character, I think she's so well written and played perfectly. Mm. Yeah, that was a look. I'm giving you an out here. Work with me. Read. I may be autistic, but even I can read between the lines at times. Again, I think that's another reason why I like the characters is because you very easy to sort of understand where they're coming from and what they're doing. I mean, they're still complicated characters. Hmm. Oh, yeah, because it like I mean, it may be a little odd, but they don't want to. That's it. Yeah, get everybody who's not involved off the ship first, because they're about to turn it into a giant generational ship-sized cue ball. Yeah, he's not going to give you your gun when you're still on the source. I mean, he's an annoying little shit, but he's also quite amusing. I'll give him that. Nope. Yeah. They're not going to tell him one of the most dangerous substances in the solar system. There's a secret stash somewhere. And even if you can't understand, the words they're saying, you can at least get the vibe of what they're trying to communicate. Yeah, they still haven't given her her name. Oh, yeah, she's just listed as Johnson's second in command. It's like, This is one hell of a ship heist. Think about it. They stole the Rocinante from the Martians. Now they're stealing a generational ship to use as basically one giant retro thruster to push a highly infested asteroid into the sun. Okay, so this is how they move the ship, which is brilliant. Drone thrusters. Oh, that's really good how they do that. Little drone thrusters. Yep, he's tripping balls again. Or is he? And it makes sense. You would a ship that big, you don't want to fire up the engines until you really have to. So having tug drones. There we go. They've finally given her name. Carmina Drummer. That's her name. They finally gave her name in the subtitles. That sounds sad, but I'll click them. Yeah, he may be a dick at times to Johnson, but you can understand it's like, yeah, this was not what this ship was meant to do. Not what it was built for. It was designed to fly between systems. Oh yeah, because the last time he chundered into his helmet. Oh, those engines. Oh, yes. Oh, I don't know why. I just find something incredibly satisfying about seeing a ship power up, firing its engines for the first time. Don't know why. It just scratches that part of the brain and it's like, yes. It's like in what was it? In Star Trek. You know, when motion picture, when you first see the Enterprise and then they just power her up to take her out of space dock, it's just like, it's like, yeah, inject that stuff straight into my veins. I think that those are fusion ion engines as well, I think. Yeah, he's pretty smart. So is she. That guy's a dumbass in comparison. Mm. Mm-hmm. No, it's just more like you're severely outclassed, mate. No, you don't. It's like when they're in that meeting, it's like and the three of them are there. It's like two of the most powerful people in the system, and him, and right. It's like yeah, you're nothing compared to them. Like in many ways, I can imagine Mal just being like, okay, yeah, you got the head of a government and stuff like that. You're pretty good. I respect that. I'm still going to crush you. I think he respects her in that weird kind of way. So because of that, he doesn't underestimate her. But Aaron White doesn't respect her, so he doesn't treat her with the consideration she's due. Plus, also, I like seeing big-headed politicians like that being put in their place. Mentally satisfying. It's like, yes, good. Here, aim. Now, was that the character or was that Amos saying that? Probably both. Sorry, the actor. And let's be honest, I'd be doing it the same with the same big grin. There's just certain things that are just like, yeah. It's just like this kid's a dick, but I like him. Like, he's a little shit, but he's a little shit. Yep, this is the sphincter tightening moment. Nope, nope, no, thank you. Nope, 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 nope. Like I say, he's a little shit, but he's our little shit. And also, to be fair, from his point of view, when he was basically thrown out of the ship by his uncle, he has done one heck of a spacewalk. So to him, it's like, yeah, I survived that. Jumping from here to that, nothing. You can understand why he's got cocky and confident about things because he survived a quite terrifying ordeal. Now, it's the sort of thing that either boosts your confidence to ridiculous levels or gives you severe PTSD. Yeah, screw that. Boom. Nice. That's how you land. That was pretty smooth. Shit, 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 shit. It's like, shit. Oh, and there goes one of your detonators. Bye bye. Like I say. uh, that zoom in. I mean, think about it. The Navu is basically going, prepare for ramming speed. Also, I love that all the displays are functional. Like, they're not just random gibberish, they actually have a function. Like, or at least they look like they have a function. Like, what's it, when they were doing the spacewalk with that, what do you call it, that corporate guy, and they nicknamed him the Canary, and it came up on the life support things that actually had Canary written as his name. That's Eros. As you said, it's counting down, isn't it? Good question. Now, the thing about things being like zero gravity is alright, but where they are isn't zero gravity. It's low gravity, but it's not zero. Plus, zero gravity does not negate bulk. It, something can be bulky. It's very difficult to maneuver. Yeah, controlled nuclear detonation. Yeah, they're going to nuke it. I'm not entirely sure what I'd be more terrified of. What's in Eros or what they're about to do to it. Little Martian drones. Hmm. Somebody trying to take advantage. And the fact they can remote control a ship like that is worrying. But if this is a civilian rental, it probably doesn't have the same security. Oh, that's a. Oh, yep. Yeah. Just give them a target lock. So that'll register on their systems. Down to fire, just lock on. It's a medical ship. Oh. Oh. Yeah. This is one of the few times you want to like sort of do basically an intimidation check. Like it's like, look, if you leave now, we can forget this happened, sort of thing. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. No, you got like you've got an hour before we come back, and if you're still here, we'll arrest you. But this is all nonsense. At some point, yeah, just don't do what he did, basically. Yeah, good question. Last point, can he go back to series though? Like, is he technically wanted there? That's an interesting question as well. Like, is there like a some kind of no like hmm, yeah, get into character. There we go. That was that could have gone worse. Like, don't want to hurt people. They're here for a legit reason. It's like, look, just give them a chance to, as you said, crap their pants, and then GTFO. Hmm. So freaking, they do a really good job of making things feel claustrophobic. I'm not a claustrophobic person myself. In fact, if anything, I'm a bit more agoraphobic than claustrophobic. But there's definitely a few scenes in this that make me like, no, thank you. It's like, oh, what if it's the medics? Oh, lovely. Is there someone going in? So you've seen it. I have a cat. So, like, it's like, I recognise that name. Ooh, this is not going to go well. This is one of those. Is like when the it's like what's the word? What's the phrase? The fecal matter hits the air circulation device. Fudge. That is a horrible choice to have to make. Hello. Yep. Now, remember what I was saying earlier about how even small particles moving at quite a fast speed are incredibly dangerous? Yeah. It's like they're flying through shrapnel. Hello, cat. Some of their technology is great. I mean, yeah, you lost a bit of air, but you're alive. Well, that's a pickle. Yep. Mm-hmm. It, it's a pickle. I can't move now because I've got a cat on my lap. She's basically got on my lap for her evening cuddles. So, I mean, yeah. Yes, I love you too. Mm-hmm. And with that one simple act, Miller's now become a hero of the Belters. Even if he makes it, no, I assume he makes it off the station or something, but no matter what happens, it's like, yeah, you know that kid's going to go back to the station and just tell everyone about him. Yeah. And if you're going to go, go in style. Yeah. 30 minutes. I mean, by the time you see that ship's within visual range, like if you're on Eos and you look at, metaphorically look out the window and you see that coming towards you, by that point, it's too late. And then you got, oh, no, I stand corrected. God, hearing those voices are weird. It missed. It missed. Eros did. How? It doesn't have any engines. Oh, I know. I'm not going to say, obviously, because I have seen the show before, but yes. How does something with no engines move? Yeah, yeah. Right. Okay. So, okay, I'm gonna have to pause for a moment because one, I need to go to the bathroom, which is gonna be difficult because I've got a cat on my lap right now. So I'm going to be back in I will bribe her with treats. That's the best way to doing it. But we'll be back in a couple of minutes, if that. Yeah, let's go in a couple of minutes, and we'll be continuing with the next episode, which will be episode 5. So yeah, like I say, back in a couple of minutes. See you soon. Right. So yeah, Madam was demanding hugs and cuddles. If we go outside, you can go outside. It's fine. Or do you want to get up on my? You want to get up on my lap, right? Here she comes. Thank you. Come on. Thank you. There you go. Yeah. See, that's her tail. Right. Ooh, I know. So if you hear like a funk noise on the microphone whenever I'm streaming, it's basically her tail hitting the microphone. Right, hold on a second. I need to get myself comfortable because I'm in a weird position. There we go. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. There you go. Yeah, so this is the time of the night when she like gets sort of cuddly and wants attention. So, isn't it? Right. Okay. So, ooh, things are getting spicy again. So now, obviously, I kind of know what's going on with regards to Eros at the moment, but that's something to bear in mind. It doesn't have any engines apart from maybe small retro thrusters, maybe. So how does something like that move quite noticeably and also subtly enough so that they don't have time to correct their course change? Because obviously a ship the size of Nova, even though there's no gravity in space, there's still inertia, and you can't just make a turn on a penny sort of thing. Right, okay, so cat's comfortable, I'm comfortable. Let's crack on with the next episode. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. I know. Especially when it's usually violence, foul language, sexual content. Okay, hand holding. Mm-hmm. That's a rather unfortunate name, Janus. that is a rather unfortunate name for a character. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this stuff is like it taps into basically the fundamental laws of the universe directly. And the bigger it gets, the more it can do. So is there like some kind of inertia dampening on it? Some kind of gravity field? What's going on? Yeah. How does an asteroid with no real engines to speak of start accelerating and changing course like that? Hmm. I'm not going to mention something because I'm not sure if it's mentioned in the show. And like I said, I don't want to accidentally spoil things. Remember, we're not at home to Captain Spoiler, basically. Ah, see? Before this is where the Nauvoo was, now it's just Tycho Station. Yeah. Again, just they don't do it every episode, but they do it enough that it's like it's a good way to make people watch the credits. It's like putting like like deleted scenes or extra scenes like at the end of the movies in the credits to get people to watch it. It's a great idea. Guy's such a douchebag. Played brilliantly by the actor, but the character douchebag. He's not happy. He's getting a bit he's getting a bit frustrated, so he is. Yes, and heck of a way. Hmm. See, see, me. I'm personally wondering if yeah. Hmm. 7 to 10 billion. Yeah, there's a lot of people who live on Earth. A lot. Hmm. That's a good point. One target versus a million. I mean, there's a logic to it, but we as the audience know that this stuff feeds off energy and radiation. I want to check see how many people actually live on Earth in the Expanse. I bet it's a lot. Okay, the combined population of Earth and its colonies stood at 31 billion. That's a lot of people. I'm assuming that's just Earth stuff, not including Mars and the outer planets. So, I love the fact that the boys there are just like, "Yep, he's all right. You down for it? I'm down for it." Oh, soon find out. Oh, it reminded me of that scene from Independence Day when Randy Quaid's character basically gives the spaceship the nuclear finger. Hello, boys. I'm back. I mean, honestly, if you're gonna go, being at the literal detonation point of a nuclear bomb going off, it's gonna be practically instant. Yeah. Oh, what was that film called when the dude was sitting on the nuke as it was dropping out the plane? I want to say Doctor Strangelove, but I might be wrong. Yeah, you know the scene I'm talking about when the dude's sitting there, he's on the nuke, basically yeehawing as it lands. Yeah, I thought it was. Yeah, absolutely ridiculous film. Been a long, long, long time since I've seen it, but I can distinctly remember it's like that and the "there's no fighting in the war room" scene. And screw it, yeah, that was it. Yeah, because they did a homage to that scene in Armageddon when Steve Buscemi's character's sitting on the nuke, and they're like, "Don't sit on the nuke and do that." Oh, that's gonna. Yeah. Now I'm wondering. I mean, he probably doesn't have the stuff there to do this, but the touch screen. A lot of those work like obviously because it's probably going to be different tech. But if that works the same sort of way, like say a smartphone screen does, could you then get like a second glove to simulate being a button press and have that on the button and then like gaffer tape it to it? Would that work? But I imagine he probably doesn't have the stuff nearby in which to do that. Oh, he now does have a little trolley. Huzzah. I mean, that's a smart move. You know, having to. Yeah. So I mean, like it, Does it have to be like? Does it have sensors in the Oh, yep. He's seeing weird shit. That's the. That's an. Or maybe it's it. Maybe it's this. The proto molecule trying to learn, and all it's got is like the language it's managed to absorb from people it's absorbed, assimilated, whatever you want to call it. Interesting. Yeah. So obviously it's not working like the like the tuning stuff because biomass is biomass. Maybe it's something to do with the neural, energy, for want of a better term. God, that's a lot of weapons being fired at once. Yeah, that's definitely something you'd have to alert Mars over. What's the oh, those things? Oh, that's not a good sign. That is not a good sign. Yeah, the protomolecule became aware of the target lock. Bye bye, cat. Yeah, that was almost like the equivalent of it just going. So yeah, anyway, wait 1 second, Miller. The fuck? It's gone. It's got. Oh, great! It's now got stealth. So yeah, this thing's evolving and learning really freaking fast, and it's figured out, from lock on. It's like, oh, we've been locked by this particular radar system, and now we've adapted to it. So yeah, Borg crossed with Toonies, crossed with replicators from Stargate. Terrifying. Yeah. So, wait, what? Oh, this is this is audacious. What do it? Oh, she's going to be surprised when she finds out who the captain is. Happy thoughts, yes. Happy thoughts. Yeah, that the fact it's glowing blue like that is worrying. So, if you want to look up something interesting, look up Trenkov radiation, specifically what color it is and where it comes from. Essentially, and this is highly simplified, Cherenkov radiation is what you get when a proton or particle travels faster than light, but not in a vacuum. There, yeah. People think, oh, but nothing can travel faster than light. Nothing can travel faster than light in a vacuum. Hello. Mind your butt. Yeah. You got no choice, mate. Yeah, what do you do? Yep. Yeah, this is one of those moments when the entire planet is clenching their butts. That's yeah. That's a gesture that is kind of universal. It's the equivalent of the Belter equivalent of flipping the bird. Yep. I like that they sort of mentioned that. It's like, yeah, the the grav juice can only protect so much, and if you do too much of it, you can have an aneurysm. It's not meant to be used all the time. The human body is not designed for that. I just realised what he was talking about. It's like hot zone. Hey, what? Strap yourselves in and brace Brace for the ride. Yeah, yeah. So you can. Yeah, it's not a pleasant sensation. That's the thing. It's not meant to be. It's literally protecting your vessels from your blood vessels from being squished by gravity. I mean, heck, if you're gonna go saving the planets, one, of course they are. Yeah, of course the politicians are some of the first people to leave. Of course they are. I mean, honestly, that guy there, the covert guy. Yeah, yeah. No surprises even in the future. Yep. So I'm laughing because of the communications delay. That is such a real thing. Like we get it on Discord. Oh yeah, he's on the moon, isn't he? Yeah, he's on Luna. So yeah, it's like a second or so, fraction of a second delay. I remember. No, they haven't terraformed Luna, but there are like habitat domes and stuff like that. Yeah, that's one of those. No, you didn't. I like him as a character. Again, I like all so many of the characters in this. Like even the covert guy there, whose name I completely forget. Now, that's they're building a human or a humanoid figure. They're definitely building something with a hand and an arm. Yep. See, the weaker blood vessels are the ones to go first, like in the nose and the ears and stuff. That's got to be weird. Yeah, there is no way an asteroid should be moving that fast. Yeah, it's getting faster. Mm, yeah, that's gonna. Yeah, that thing's getting far. It's accelerating. Now, on the one hand, how it's able to do that is absolutely fascinating, but on the other hand, it's also terrifying. Like, How the hell is it able to do that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, because remember they started doing something to her, didn't they? Energizing her. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ooh, that's terrifying. Yeah. Back off slightly. That has got to be so unpleasant. It's like your entire, it's like you every cell in your body is being sat on by an elephant. Isn't something like what with training and the proper exercises and stuff, you can generally withstand like 6 Gs, 8 if you're a trained pilot. So I'm assuming with this technology that they've got access to twice that amount, like 15, 16 Gs. Yeah, I mean, I've seen weirder things in sci-fi. A partially assimilated person who thinks she's a space station is not the weirdest. Yeah, yeah, you can't have that toxic juice in your system for too long. It can f up your kidneys as well. Yeah, it's literally only meant for high, you know, basically high G spins. I don't know why, but that phrase just makes me giggle. It's like, you little shit. That looks like a neuron. Yeah, look at it. That looks like a freaking neural cluster. Just a really big one. I mean, again, doesn't it? You just see that the way it's like, oh, like the way it's like the tendrils are coming out. I forget what the proper names are for those parts are of the cell, but yeah, the more I look at that, that's a brain being built. So that is freaking terrifying, but also fascinating. It's like, what would it be? What could it do if it formed a fully functional network? I mean, so of course it's probably like using Julie and everything to jumpstart things, like as you said, like the seed crystal, so to speak, and then building off of that. And why is it going to Earth? Well, there's about 30 billion people there, so a lot of biomass. Oh, imagine that all over Earth. That would be like the whole what was it in Dead Space? Was it what they call them, the Brethren moons? Yeah, shut up. Oh, hello. Wow, she's is that actually her, or was that just? That is. Oh god, if she's actually her, Julie, that must be freaking terrifying beyond belief. Yeah, well, you found her. Yeah, she's going home. Yeah, so she, whatever's like left of her, is thinking she's on the Razorback. Yeah, she just wants to go home. This is really. I keep again. This is like one of those sort of beautifully sad moments of how like this episode could work as a season finale. Basically, it's not. It's only episode 5, and there's 7 more episodes to go of the season. But this would work so well as this season ender. Hell, it could even work as the show end, I feel. Yeah, because your nerves are probably no longer working the same way. Yeah, I imagine like her. I can put it. What's the word I'm looking for? Like her body is just that's just a shell. That just happens to be where her consciousness focuses on. And the way you can see the way it's being basically taken over, absorbed. I was like, no one does. That is so tragically beautiful. Like the whole, she's like at the center of this growing brain or nervous system, even. And it's the last bit of human contact before whatever happens happens. As far as Earth knows. Yeah. So he's now officially joining the OPA. I should got him a coffee. Ganymede gin. Never really got on with gin. Don't know why. Probably haven't tried the right one. More of a whiskey or a bourbon man. Fucking hell. That, again, I can't really put into words just how much this show impresses me. And just, so I'm just resetting the counter before I forget. There we go. Oh boy. That is freaking, yeah, coming soon. A very special guest star. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I mean, for a lot of people who don't know, okay, and I'm assuming some people would know, but back in the day, and I'm talking like, right back with, billions of years ago, maybe even just millions, Venus had a climate very similar to Earth's. Like, not exactly the same, but similar. Right? There's a reason why Venus is kind of called like Earth's sister planet, whereas Mars was a sort of, sort of grumpy little brother. Venus was the older, the older sister sort of thing, planetary wise. But because of something happening with its atmosphere, and it just basically became a runaway greenhouse effect. Venus has a surface so hot rocks melt. Yeah, Earth, in terms of where Earth is sitting, it is very, very lucky. Now, granted, Venus, if it was still like Earth, would be like, imagine an entire planet that is basically really warm tropical weather. In terms of how warm it would be. Like, could humans live on Venus? Like, as it was back then before the atmospheric stuff went all wibbly? Yes. Would it be pleasant? It would be like going... I'm sure many people have done this. You've been to like a hot country or a hot part of the world where it's like, ooh... That's the term I was looking for. Yes, a runaway greenhouse effect. Yes. But yeah, before that, they found evidence and extrapolated from it. It's like, yeah, Venus would have been inhabitable. But at some point, the greenhouse effect, the runaway greenhouse effect I was mentioned in chat, kicked in and it just became a hell planet, basically. Earth is basically right smack in that, in the middle of the so-called Goldilocks zone. Basically, it's a zone around the star that is like the sweet spot for planetary life to possibly evolve and come from. Earth is right in the middle. Mars is right on the outer edge. Venus is right on the inner edge. Venus had the issues. Oh yeah, the discovery of the Russian Venera probes. Yeah, those things are seriously. Venus is an absolutely fascinating place. It's a hell. It's basically a hell planet by our standards. But I love the fact that Mars also almost had a proper atmosphere. It's just it had a much weaker core compared to Earth's. Venus had the Venus had the greenhouse wibblement. Earth basically has got the way more iron in its core than a planet of its size should do. All because, well, not all because of, but one hypothesis is because that back when Earth was still young, something smacked into it, Ferra, I think it was called, and basically beat Earth to a pulp. A big chunk of this new merged planet broke off and became the moon, and the new Earth was born with slightly higher than normal for a planet of this size iron in its core, which is what allows us to have, relatively speaking, quite a functional and powerful magnetic field for a planet of this size, which in turn allowed us to develop a decent atmosphere, the Van Allen's belt, the ozone layer, all that sort of stuff, which eventually led to the rise of life. This shit is the reason why I have an interest in astronomy, because all this stuff is absolutely freaking fascinating to me, and I could speak about this for hours and hours on end, but I'm not going to, because right. So obviously next week, with regards, like I say, to Persona, I am still going to be playing it, but I'm still not sure whether or not there's going to be anything on Monday. If I do know, it's going to be like a last minute thing, so I will try and work out if I can do it by sort of lunchtime. And if you don't see anything from me on socials, then assume it's not going to happen, because by that point I will know if I'm sort of mentally be able to with it, or if I've still got more work I have to do on the Monday. But either way, I am definitely going to be playing, like I say, I am going to be playing Persona 5 for the foreseeable future. And then once that's done, then I probably will return to Fallout and stuff like that, because I'm still waiting for that very particular mod to be patched, because I don't want to brick my saves again, which is very understandable, because there was a big update and people have to wait for everything to be patched. So it happens. With that, I'm going to say goodnight and have a good weekend. Bye-bye.